And we're back. So we've only got a little bit left of our characters to do. And I'm very excited by these characters. I'm real keen for this nonsense. So let's have a look at our friends and enemies. So everyone should have on their character sheet a section just listed as friends. It's in the bottom right hand corner. And there is an up arrow and a down arrow that you can highlight, and you want to pick someone, or for some people, a thing. That might be your friend or enemy, because I'm just looking at Evie's sheet, and one of the options is Krieger, a fine blaster pistol, which could be your friend, or it could be your enemy.
Bum, bum, bum.
But yeah, do people have ones that are like, yes, I want to be shagging this person, or no, I want to be blood rivals with this person, or... I'm not saying which one of those is the good one or the bad one, by the way. Like,
for sure.
But yeah.
I have mine picked out.
Yeah? Do you want to tell me about them, DC?
My friend is Aura, an info broker.
Valuable.
And I think that comes from being a part of a syndicate for a while, probably for a long time. Having that connection to someone who knows where they're probably like a neutral party that people could go to. You pay the price, you do a job, they give you the information that you want, and probably hit it off. Just the kind of person who, at the end of a long day, like pulls out a bottle and pours some drinks, and probably had some drinks. And
in my head, Aura is a person who loves to roll their eyes at you and be like, "Oh, of course you did that, right?" Like. Of course you're coming with, like, of course you want to pay me less money, or like, you know, that sort of thing of like always being like, oh, such and such, you know.
Yeah.
That's my, like, because you, especially if you've like dropped out of the syndicate and you don't have, like, you're now like operating off the books or whatever, and they're like, yeah, all right, I'll still take you on as a even though you don't have a syndicate license or whatever it is for this sort of thing. That's cool. I like it. Do you have an enemy?
Yes. Rin, a smuggler.
Fuck that guy.
Oh, a rival? Is this...
I think that back during my syndicate days, there were probably a lot of times where I would run into Rin, and we would have like opposing jobs, and I would never take it personally, but it became this thing where it's like, oh, well, whoever succeeds in this thing first gets like the item or the person or this kind of thing. And because
Rin holds a grudge.
Because there's probably like a scoreboard that Rin keeps, and I'm up by like 2 or something like that, and I don't care at all. Like, I don't know what the score is. I'm just like, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
Wait, are you Rin's Gary Oak?
Yes. I have 10 badges in an 8 badge zone.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. Cool, great. Excellent. Do you know what your vice is?
Yes. I'm tying it into our whole taking foreign alien objects and selling them and whatnot. And my vice is weird. I think that specifically figuring out what happened to the is my character's main vice. It's like, give me information, items,
Cool.
stuff like that.
I love it. Awesome. Who else has frenemies and problems with their life?
I can do.
Yeah.
My friend is Ken, who is a family member, but I think they are a clone from the same batch as me, and Ken is actually K3N.
Nice.
I am K4N.
Rad.
Nice. I like it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Then my enemy is Nisa, a previous employer, and I think they're perhaps like a contractor for one of the guilds that I split on. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, didn't finish a job or something.
Yep, I love it. That sounds awesome. And like, there's probably like some major fallout from that, right? Like, you like bailed on the job, and they're like, it'll have to do, and then like something fell apart. Yep. Cool. Awesome. Do you know what your vice is?
Faith.
Cool.
This character is a tech priest.
Love it. Excellent. Cool. Who next?
I don't have my vice yet, but I do have my my deadly friends. I think that both my friend and my enemy, used to be my subordinates in the military. And so when I disobeyed orders, our entire squad took some heat. Like, it wasn't just me, but also my my team kind of had a hard time. So these are two that have since left the military and retired. So there is Chonzek, who is a bounty hunter. This person is my friend. Like, they think that I made the right call, and we're all fine. So I think that we were kind of friends in the military, even though I had a superior position. And now that we're like both out of the military, like we're on pretty good terms. But my enemy is Aya, who is an assassin now that they are out of the military. And I think that they are very angry. They had a very promising military career ahead of them, and my decision started a whole of struggle for them that now have quite a different life.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, I love that. I love the difference between like bounty hunter and assassin as far as like the way that those things play out. That's really cool. Awesome. Well, we'll come back to you for your vice in a minute. Cherry?
I like that. Cool.
Yeah. So, my friend, I think, is my former commander of the guild ship. I think that my race, that I don't have a name for yet, don't really have like hierarchical structures like we expect, and everything is very without sounding like a hippie, but like everything's very communal. In like a really cyberpunk way, not in a hippie way.
Yeah. Yep.
And so like there's no real like superiority, except there are just certain situations where someone knows better and they're the ones that make the call. And this person is kind of like that. I'm just taking names from the book because I'm just going to take the names from the book because
I mean, yeah, like you're specifically picking from the list.
Yeah. So that's Mav. Yeah,
yep,
that's
cool.
Mav. I just built on that a little bit. And then my enemy, who is like an outright enemy, but similar to DC, like I don't care. Like, my race doesn't really do violence. The whole violence thing is really, really new to me as a being. And so when I first arrived in the system, we needed money, and so I entered a race and won a whole bunch of money by like being an upstart and like unseating Chos, who apparently hadn't lost in like 3 years or something, or however long, like 3
was the reigning champion.
Yeah, reigning champion. And I took all the money, and it was just like not expected because I was like this weird creature in a suit.
Awesome. I love it. So yeah, tick the uppy arrow for Maz and downy arrow for Chos. And do you know what your vice is?
Yes. Mine is weird. And the way is new to me. Like the description, like we have the way where we're from, and like it's part of how we like exist in the world, but like we didn't have a name for it. And now that I know that it's a thing that can be examined, I'm convinced that if I leave my pressure suit and fly really, really, really fast in circles around my ship that I will somehow discover the secrets to the way.
Awesome. Yeah, cool. And I'm sure that we'll like find some other things for you to like some other promising ways for you to discover the secrets as well. So cool. Evie, do you have a feeling about
I do. I think that due to my more kind of upper class upbringing, my vice is pleasure, and specifically like fine wine, good scotch, like specifically with a drinking kind of turn to it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think that works for me.
Yeah. And it's like I think that the difference between pleasure and stupor is really important there. In that it's it's that difference of like not drinking to get drunk, but drinking for the like, oh, this feels good. Yeah, awesome. That totally works.
You're getting the aroma of the wine, that whole thing.
Yep. Cool. Well, the last thing we need then is name, alias, and look. So I think, where is it? There are some options on page 52, I think. As far as like if you want prompts, but yeah, you get to fluff that out. As far as like what that looks like for you. What are your names? What's your alias? What do you look like? And I'll let you all think about that for a bit, and we can do ship creation stuff now that we've got our characters.
Can I ask something real quick?
You can always ask something.
One, I feel like for my character, and this would be really interesting if everyone else decides what my alias is.
Oh, fun!
A nickname.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to do that at the start or after like the first adventure or something?
Whenever it's appropriate. I don't mind the time.
So we won't set an alias now. We can be like, yeah.
So what is the difference between your name and your alias? Are we assuming that the four of us, even though we're a crew, we don't actually know the reality of one another's lives? Is that what that's implying?
Up to you. It's just alias tends to be, it's like your gang name, right? Like that everyone in the streets knows you by.
Oh, this is the Backstreet shit kids. I got you.
Jimmy the Clamps, right?
Jesus.
Right? Like
awesome.
Jimmy, quote, the Clamps, unquote. I don't know. It's your, like, you do not have to have an alias and you do not have to have a real name. They're just like, they're all there as options for you. It's just that there's a lot of situations where you don't want to be like on the phone and refer to someone by their real name because the cops might be listening in, right?
Right. Okay. Cool.
My second question is, for my starting ability, for my Xeno ability, I'm thinking that I can sense the way in objects and things and people. But I don't have any like way abilities. It's just like in.
I'm wondering then. Let me. So I want to check because the thing is that like that might be giving you a bonus dice to attuning. I feel like as in like when you use that ability, you attune and get a bonus dice for it. I just wanted to check: is Memish don't have a way sensing? They have an electro sensing cami. Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to check that it wasn't a specific, because like I know that like Memish is the Memish are the most common Xenos, and I wanted to check that it didn't it wasn't. They're the example Xenos. I think is the best way to do it, to refer to it. They're from planet Mem, but I just wanted to check that wasn't what we were doing.
Okay.
Because they have that like a whole like they have their own like mystic tradition and things like that as well. Mem is page 3 of 5. Yeah, cool. All right. So yeah, you can 100% be like, hey, like when I use my like ability to sense the way that is, then you'd spend some stress and gain extra dice on that. That is a thing you can do.
How many stress should I set?
It'd be depending on the situation, right? Like if it's something that's like quite distant, it's going to be more stress than something where you're like put it in your face.
Got it.
So that
hang on the PDF page 297 or 307. It says 2 stress, attuned to the way to sense gravimetric disturbances common on mem, and the relative mystic ability of anyone nearby. So it is already a thing. But by your description, you just want to be a mem, but you could be.
I mean, like, or something that. Well, no, like, yeah. If DC is interested in, if they're interested in the memish, where are the memish listed? Page 2.
As an example of the Xeno thing,
yeah.
It's book page 297, PDF page 307.
Cool. Let me read that to you, DC, and see how you feel about that. Just because like you might and it's a question of 307. There we go. Because it like whether or not you feel like playing one that is entirely your people, or like them, like something that is your own creation, or if you want to buy in, like hook into the existing fiction in the book.
Mm-hmm.
The planet Mem is in the Holt system. Consequently, Memish people are not an unfamiliar sight in the Procyon sector, so they're the most common Xenos in the area. Although they're generally humanoid, Memish have pitch black eyes and skin that comes in various shades of blue, purple, and green. Instead of hair, they have tentacles. Memish people are able to survive at extreme depths, navigate waters with virtually no light available. They're known for organizing in complex, extended family groups and playing and practicing their religion away from the light of the Holt star. It involves ritual carving of their scaled hides and imbuing the carvings with carefully tended bioluminescent deep sea plant life. Being Memish, you could spend 0 stress to breathe water, hear really low sound waves, swim incredibly quickly, 1 stress to sense the flow of electricity nearby, or use your deep water muscles to lift a thug one-handed. Extend rending claws capable of filleting shark skin. 2 stress, navigate flawlessly in pitch blackness, survive space unharmed for a short while, attuned to the way to sense gravitic disturbances, and relative mystic ability of anyone nearby. So, like, Memish does tick a couple of the boxes that you were describing on your own, but if you want to be like, we're similar in these ways but not, that's up to you.
Yeah, I think the Mimish there's too many abilities for what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's just a sense of
a
sense of the way.
Cool, I like it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think the Xeno ability is supposed to be that it can evolve and change as we play the game, right? Like
yes, that's the idea.
We can figure it out as we go.
Yep, yeah. That's the point. It's cool. Definitely the most like fictionally hooked one. Cool. Excellent. Well, yeah, I'm totally down with that for a Xeno ability, DC. Cool. So, where was I up to? Have we done? Yeah, so we're doing look and stuff. Now we're doing spaceships. Spaceships. Sorry. Don't know what happened there. That was weird.
Are we doing names before spaceships?
If people have names and they're ready to do that, then yes.
I have a name. I've taken them from the book because someone's put a lot of thought into them and it makes my life easy. So my character uses she/her pronouns. Her name is Jet Wren, and I think that she probably doesn't have an alias, but I think she probably goes by her surname Wren as like a leftover from the military thing.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Awesome. Do you have a look?
I think that she's a human, and I think that she is she's quite tanned. She's used to spending some time like on planets, boots on the ground kind of a thing. but that's maybe fading now after some time in space. I think that she is quite a tall lady, and she is into like black clothes. She's rocking the skinny pants that Cami was talking about before. And I think that she dyes her hair blue, like for those of you who are familiar with Blue Jay.
Yeah.
Like Blue Jay blue. So I think that she has like short hair that she like sweeps back, blue hair, and she wears like combat boots and a big military jacket, like a big sort of mid-thigh falling like boat with the epaulets and the whole thing.
Awesome. Love it. Cool. Does anyone else have names and looks and stuff?
So, as I said before, I am K4N, aka Tin Can.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I think the clones don't have a distinct gender because they're clones, but everyone just uses male pronouns to refer to them as the default, and so that's what they're used to.
Right, yeah.
So that's, and I've got a kind of masculine image in my head, and for look, I've just written tech priest, robes and all. So
fuck yes.
Yeah, because they're part of a guild.
Yeah.
So,
or at least they were. Your backgrounds are who you were before you decided to get together with some randos and get a ship. Awesome. Cherry? Do you have stuff?
Yeah, my character's name is hard to pronounce, so it's Oro Vergella. I can't even pronounce it.
It's much easier if you've got the tentacle mouth.
Yep, totally. And I just started typing and that's how it came out. So everyone calls my character Orovj, but you can just say Orov if that's easier. It's Orovz.
Cool.
And as I said before, they're a small tentacled being. And
what color are they? What, A, can we see you in the visor of the helmet?
If I choose to, yes.
Okay, and B, what color are you?
Yeah. Blue, because blue is the best color.
Excellent. I'm a fan.
We've got such an aesthetic.
Think of like a bob squid. Does anyone know what a bob squid is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a fan. Awesome. Sorry.
Did you know that was the first squid in space that we put in space?
I did not know that.
I didn't know we put squids in space.
To the space station, we sent their little babies up, and they grew up in space.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I love it.
And the pressure suit that I have. So my pronouns are they them because there's no real gender. Like there's just too many genders and we don't really have pronouns, but because that I ended up in a feminine pressure suit, they're kind of trying on feminine pronouns and they're not angry with them if they end up being referred to in that way, and they're kind of trying to see how it feels. And also it's a small pressure suit. It's not like normal height, it's like mid teenager height. But also it was what we could afford for me to go out and be my own little thing outside of the clave. And I'm not going to say it was used for sex things, but maybe it was. So it's like very well developed, but also kind of teenage.
I was wondering if that was the question. I was wondering if it was cheap because it was a previously.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I have some big feelings about this character.
Now they wear like this really nicely fitted, very cyberpunk kind of jumpsuit that's very appropriate for a hot pilot.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I have some big feelings about this character.
Wow.
In my heart. Awesome. DC, did we have a name for you?
Yes, I have had a name from the beginning, and I will in the end.
Jesus.
Oh, snap.
It came to me. I had to roll with it. Thane Yularen. Thane is a gray-black Tyrian. I posted a picture in the chat. I'll like do it again or something. And they keep like their feet out, so they're like these weird clawy feet. But then they wear like pants that go down to around like the bottom of the calf that are like a little loose so that there's sway like space there. And then they have like a chest armor sort of thing that fills out like a more humanoid space. And then I get a fine coat with being a scoundrel. So there's a long coat that goes on top of it that is a soft pink.
Nice.
And we have all these blue people, and we get the soft pink. And Tyrion looks like an old dry tree, like grays and blacks.
I love it. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. So my question to y'all is, what is your, now that you've all banded together and got a ship for yourselves, what's your reputation? Are you ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, strange, or subtle?
Strange as heck.
I think we're strange.
And or clumsy.
Yeah, I think, yeah. If clumsy were one of the listed options, I would definitely say that. But yeah, strange works, I think, for our rep. Cool. And then we get to customize our ship. Now, this is the bit that I struggled with last time. Each ship starts with several pre-selected ship systems that reflect its focus. Cool. Has this done this for me automatically, or do I need to do it myself? Start answer. Add abilities. Add contacts. Add upgrades. Cool. Great. And then let's go to the start answer. Start answer starts with crew quality 0 out of 3, engines 1 out of 4. Where's... Oh, I have to put those in myself. Engines 1 out of 4. Hull is 2 out of 4. And... Oh wait, out of 4. Oh, god damn it. Hull. 2 out of 4. This is confusing. This is the bit that I have to do that's confusing. Comms is out of 3. Is that XP? It's XP. Alright. Okay. Engines. Hull. So, tick. 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 Comms is out of 3. And we have 2 out of 3 and 0 out of 2 weapons. Cool. Alright. We start with jump drive as a engines thing. Jump drive. And hull we start with cargo hold and smuggling compartments. Is someone doing that for me?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Comms we start with none installed, and weapons we start with none installed. We start with a galley and training. So let's chuck that in, and I will read what those do. Galley and training insight. All right, so the galley is, what's the description of all the upgrades? Ship modules.
A combined kitchen and serving areas. Hanging out.
Awesome. Does that doesn't give us, no, that's an upgrade that we can take. There's an upgrade we can take that's called home cooking.
That's one of the special abilities?
Yes, there's a special ability we can get called home cooking. Sorry, thank you. So, we've done, two additional ship systems to improve. Our choices between engine, hulls, comms, and weapons. So, we could put which two systems do we want to upgrade? And those give us extra spots for putting things into as well if we want to. For instance, we have 1 rank in engines, and that's filled up with jump drive, cargo hold, smuggling compartment in hull, and we don't have anything in comms or weapons at the moment. For instance, if we wanted to, we could do the hull thing to what's the one for hull that we can get? Start answer.
I would like to upgrade weapons so we can get a grappling hook.
I mean, yeah. I find this bit of the document really hard to navigate.
Can it be a grappling hook from my race that's made of a tentacle?
That's amazing.
We're so into grappling hooks. I love it.
You can paint it to look like a tentacle.
I mean, it could be like a mechano tentacle, right?
I mean, that's on the cybernetics trend as well.
Yeah.
What if it's biomechanical?
Yeah, but I was thinking biomechanical for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of starting upgrades, are the ones that are listed as available the only ones we can pick at creation?
That's a good question. Available afterburners, available fake transponder, quantum encryptor. It doesn't say that specifically. Crew, let's have a look. Choose your ship. Choose your reputation. Customize your ship. Add 2 systems to the ship or improve the crew quality. Pick how you dealt with the faction that helped you out. All right, so.
We're already top quality.
Yeah, we are not. We are 0 quality.
How dare you?
Where are we? Assigning upgrades. Customize your ship. So choose 2 additional systems to improve. So we choose 2 systems to improve. You're able to take more powerful. Yeah, cool. After you decide what you want to improve, the GM will tell you about a faction that helped you getting those improvements. So I think we're just actually getting... Are those improvements? Or are they... This is the bit that's confusing to me, is... Ship modules.
Are the systems like the stats of a character in that? So if you make a roll for the ship, is that a thing?
Yeah, it does count towards that. Yes.
So is that what it's wanting us to improve?
Yeah, I think so. Auxiliary modules, complex systems of special purpose, not strictly required on any ship and host functions. Yeah, I think we're upgrading. Yeah, so I think so if we have extra things, I think they give us extra position and effect, is my understanding. For instance, if we're getting into a gunfight, we will have better position and effect if we have better weapons than the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Because ship modules, a new module. Yeah, okay. So you can't have more modules in a ship system than you have quality in that system. Right. So because we currently have 1 in engines, we can't buy any new engine stuff because we only have 1 in it, and that's got a jump drive in it. Because we have 2 in hull, so we can't buy any more hull upgrades any more hull modules until we upgrade hull. So this is just choosing which of these things is our ship is best at. I'm sorry this bit's confusing. I find it confusing. It's a bit easier once you're actually in play. So what do people feel? Engines, hull, comms, weapons.
Did you say that we don't have any comms at this stage?
We don't have any like bonus dice in it, right? We have so at the moment we have an okay engine, a pretty good hull, the most basic comms, and the most basic weapons, which might be nothing.
Right. Okay, cool. I think that if we are smuggling types, it's probably important that we are able to make a quick getaway, right?
That makes sense to me.
So is that engines.
Yes, engines would be what you want for like fleeing.
Mhm.
So do we
I
want
think
to
I think also though my pilot role adds to that, right? So
so the way that this works is that your pilot role, and this is the thing you wouldn't have been encountered in Which We Live and Breathe, Cherry. There's things called position and effect in these systems, which are on top of, which kind of sit either side of the role as additional stats that come into play. So your pilot roll will tell us how many dots we get in the thing, how many dice we get to roll. But if we have better engines, your dice might be able to get us a better outcome.
oh, I see. Yeah,
With a good roll.
I read that part. I understand. Yeah.
So that's where that comes in. It is, especially for effect, it makes a big difference. Trying to outrun if you were trying to outrun a tier 2 ship, right? Then having an extra dot in engines would take you from a limited effect to a standard effect. Having another dot in engines would take you from a standard to a great. So that's where that comes in.
I think we need some kick-ass engines.
Yeah,
I agree. And then we can get the afterburners straight away without owing anyone, I think. And same for comms, we can get the fake transponder straight away so we can pretend to be someone else.
Oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the idea that we're more kind of like we're more likely to try and escape rather than hold our ground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that sounds
We
cool.
need shield.
Cammy, do you want to check those off? In that case, yeah, we're going to take the afterburners and fake transponders.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Sure.
All right, cool. So
Can I very quickly ask what page the descriptor of these things is on? Don't know.
Everywhere.
No, it's ship modules is page.
Oh, I found it.
118 or 128. Yeah.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. So now that we've picked what those are, I get to ask you about. Let's talk about. So there's a lot of factions in this game. Because that's how Blades works. So after you decide what you want to improve, the GM will tell you about a faction that helped you get those improvements. They did you a favor. How did your crew respond? So I have to pick a faction. Some factions.
Spin the wheel.
I'm going to look at the faction cheat sheet. Because cool. I think.
Oh wow, there's heaps of them.
Yeah, there are, and you won't be interacting with all of these. There's lots of options.
Cool.
I think this is the Bornico Syndicate, a tightly knit group of thieves who steal high-end technological supplies. Man, the guild hates these guys. Is their description? They're people who steal serious they're the people who steal like Maseratis and stealth jets, right? Like they're the people who go out and be like, that looks really cool, let's steal that. They are the people who do the job from Gone in 60 Seconds, right?
I was just thinking that.
It's 100% that, right? It's Christopher Eccleston in it. So the description for Bornico Syndicate in my head now is Christopher Eccleston in his makeup from Thor: The Dark World, but running his team from Gone in 60 Seconds. That's what I'm going with.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So they're the ones that hooked you up with this cool new stuff. They hooked you up with a ship that has this cool new stuff. They were like, hey, don't buy one off the parking lot. We can hook you up with a real good. It'll go very fast, you know.
And so we owe them now.
Well, the question I have for you is team. Let me have a look. Did you where is it? Did you pay them off? You start with 2 creds. You have two monies. Did you pay them off, give them one of your creds in exchange for a job well done? No strings attached, nothing owed. Did you owe them one? Promise that you'll return them a favor down the line. When they ask you, when they like, you'll do something for them later, and you get one status with them. If you do, that you can just be like, oh, it's fine. We'll pay you back. Don't worry. Or do you just want to stiff them? No need to pay a faction that doesn't demand payment up front. Haha, sucks to be you. You get -1 status, and they are pissed.
Wow. I don't think that
I agree.
be super into owing just because not knowing what you might have to do later is a huge risky thing.
I actually love the way Ash GM so much that I wouldn't mind owing them.
I'd be like, hey team, it's time to pay up.
I would like to do a bit of rules arbitration in that I think. So are you looking at page 113?
Yep.
I think the paying them off stuff there is only for if we take the crew upgrades. And then later on, where it says assign upgrades, it says we helped one faction and screwed one faction.
That's separate. That's
separate
more
again?
factions, yes. Yeah, this is to get the whole point of this is to get you tied up and tangled in the fucking mess.
Cammy, did you think only one group of people would be after us at a time? Let's not be silly.
Yeah,
I would prefer it if we owed them one and we're buddies.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
were like, hey, y'all like really weird Earth stuff that most other people don't know how to operate. Oh, yeah, that's us.
Cool.
Mhm.
I'm putting
Give
us
us that
at +1 status with the
Cool.
Bornico Syndicate. Great.
I think that ties in with the weird as fuck ship too, that
Mhm.
no one knows much about.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like the afterburners that we've got are like some weird afterburners where it's like, wait, they use what? Right? Like, yeah.
We have to
Um,
use ancient milk.
Yeah. Oh god, that sounds
Or-
so gross.
Pour it on these like rotating spheres and just splash.
Luke Skywalker's there like,
It's like Nibbler's poop from Futurama.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Yep. Uh-huh. It definitely is powered by something weird. All right. Well, let's choose one of the special abilities listed for our ship. If you can't decide which one to pick, the first, go with the first one. Is like for all of these things, the first one is always put as the first one on the list because it's the default. But
Okay.
we've got what we've got is the getaway. You gain potency when you scramble or helm to avoid a capture or run a blockade. When doing a delivery job, take +1 dice to the engagement roll. So you just this is that getting away thing. Cargo Eye, your crew gains +1 cred for smuggling or delivery jobs. Whenever you gather information, you can always ask, what is the most valuable here? Field repairs, you gain potency when repairing your ship while in space. If you spend a gambit on a rig roll, you gain +2d instead of +1d. Leverage, your crew knows how to pull strings and cash in favors. When you lay low, instead of rolling, you can take -1 status with a faction that is helpful or better to reduce your wanted level by 1 and set your heat to 0 in a system. So you can get people to be like, actually, no, they're not a problem. Just passing through. During payoff, take -1 heat. When your heat is 4 or less, you get +1d to deceive people when you pass through the when you pass yourselves off as ordinary citizens, and you still have 2 downtime activities even if you're at war. So basically that's we're nobodies, you don't have to worry about us. Home cooking, your whole crew gains home cooking as a vice. Right after a job, you may spend 1 cred and a downtime activity to cook for everyone, allowing the whole crew present to make a vice roll. If anyone overindulges, a fight erupts and everyone gains 1 stress after the vice roll. You have to have the galley module, which we have. And then problem solvers. Each crew may add 1 action rating to helm, rig, or scramble, up to a maximum of 3. So that's the way that you can have start with 3 dots in something. These all make me very happy. I love these, all of them.
They're so good.
In my head, just passing through is always just like grabbing a hat off of a stall and being like like putting it over your face every time.
I think it's the one that just sounds the most ridiculous for us too, right?
Yeah,
Like-
it's like, oh no, this is my wife, squid in a spacesuit.
I mean, from what you were saying, the fact that humans are like the vast majority of people in the galaxy, like this is a very diverse crew. And I love the idea that we're just like, what are you talking about? I'm wearing a hat. Clearly, I'm just like, you don't worry about it.
Yep.
I kind of like the idea of home cooking though, as well.
Home cooking makes my heart warm.
It's
So implies that
beautiful.
any of us as
Also,
characters can cook.
I like the idea of,
love
like,
that idea.
Yeah,
I
like
love that
everyone
idea,
making like weird food and being like,
Yeah. Yeah.
And eventually it all just like someone's had enough of this shit and starts a fight over it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. I'm imagining Orov being like, "Hey everyone, I made you pellets."
Yes. Mine's all like gross military ration
Yeah,
stuff. It's made from powdered foodstuffs.
Yep.
I think my character takes like particular slugs and mashes them up into like a jelly and then rubs it on their skin.
Okay, I'm suddenly less into the home cooking option.
Yeah, I think
Oh
But,
my
like-
god.
But DP, you just put it down and we all start eating it and you're just like aghast at the fact that we're eating it.
So disgusting.
It puts the grubs on its skin.
Oh dear.
Oh my gosh.
I think Yaru food is Soylent Green.
Oh, it 100% is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mmm.
I'm not sure if I'm super into this or really not. have a
Brother
strong
91B
feeling about
does
it.
taste good after his eventual death at 3 years old.
Oh, no, I've decided and I'm super not into it. Ash, come on.
Just passing through.
I think we're just passing through it, sounds like, so we can wear silly hats.
Can we wear silly hats, not eat our former friends?
Don't worry, Cherry. We can buy more special abilities with crew upgrades. We can always learn to cook.
Sometime in the future, I will cook for you all. You
Yep.
will
I mean,
drink.
I mean, you
You
can
can-
always cook. It's just whether or not it's good, right? Home cooking is that it is good.
Whether or not it's a community thing that makes us feel less
Yeah.
anxious.
Yep. In addition to the upgrades the ship comes with, you as a group get to add 2 additional upgrades. For example, you might pick the Cerberus's stun weapons upgrade, or and also the auxiliary armory module, because you like if those people want weapons. And then for each of the and then we pick factions that are affected by your upgrade choices. So these are like. These are things that like maybe on your first, because I assume that like I want to jump in after you've at least run a job or 2 already, so that like we don't have to be like, hello, I am character name, pleased to meet you, right?
Cool, yeah.
So yeah, crew upgrades are on page 116/126, and then like from there down. So we have a bunch of different things. Training upgrades are ones where if you if you spend time on your ship training in that thing, you get extra like you just get to like buy XP, and you can always do that. But for instance, you start with the insight training, which means that when you spend downtime training your insight, you get more XP out of it. So yeah. There's a whole bunch of things there, false ship papers, dark hyperspace lane maps, smuggler's rigging, you can have a lucky charm, you could be thrill seekers, you could have an AI module, you could have a workshop or survival gear or an alien pet or a Land Rover, all sorts of things. Are there any... Having a look through, page 116 onwards, are there any that jump out to people?
So how many do we get?
You get 2 of these.
2 of them.
Yep. Lucky charm, you would have to spend both dots on it because you've got two oh no, because if you only got 1, that just means you can take it multiple times. Sorry, I think I would have to check that. The ones that have multiple boxes on the sheet, I will have to check how that works, if you have to spend extra dots or not.
Cool. So this is the gear we're looking at, not the upgrades, right?
Crew/ship upgrades. Page.
Okay, right. Cool.
Yeah, page 1, starting on page 116 or 126 if you're using the PDF number. Here. And then we get to tangle you up some more.
I'm just a bit confused because the explanation lists auxiliary armor, and that's not under the thing that they're talking about. But
this is the thing that I found confusing as well. Yeah.
Armor is there. It's under auxiliary modules, underneath shields.
Oh yeah. Oh, armory.
Armory, yeah.
No, there's shields, and then the no. Shields count as armor against ship weapons. Okay, never mind.
Yes. Yeah.
I think we should have a lucky charm.
Let me.
I like that.
As an upgrade.
Does that spend both of them? Did we get just that, nothing else though? In that case.
Oh, it takes 2 slots. Ah.
I get it. I think you could get, so afterburners and fake transponder, I don't think we start with them, but they count as upgrades as well. Their modules are a kind of upgrade. So do we want to drop afterburners and fake we'll just drop those for now. But if we wanted to take them, we could.
Okay.
I think we should take them. That's my vote.
Afterburners and fake transponder?
Yeah, because we can always
made good choices.
We can always upgrade as we go to other things, right? Like
yeah,
I feel like
we build up as we go. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can work certain things into the story. Like I like the idea of there's always been an AI module there, but we discover it eventually.
Yeah, right? Oh, 100%. That's the thing we can do.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. So when we're so after you've assigned your 2 upgrades, the GM will tell you about 2 factions impacted by your choices. One faction helped you get an upgrade. You're on good terms. Did they broker a deal? Did you run a job for them? Did you bail them out of trouble, etc., etc. And the other faction was screwed over. So let's have a look at some of these other factions. Let's have a look. I wanna have a look at the Concordiate Knights because they might be fun, or the where's the all the 51st Legion. I'm feeling like I want to tie in some military stuff here.
I'm down.
Factions. The Concordiate. Concordiate Knights. Okay, the Concordiate Knights are weird religious adventurers. Let's have a look at the 51st Legion. Oh wait, a faction of the hegemonic military preparing a coup. What?
So it's either Outlaw Star or Star Wars.
51st Legion, hegemonic military that represents the So hegemonic military that represents the law anywhere off planet. Cool. And I'm just gonna. I reckon there's something to do with. So one of the factions that has been affected, and we get to choose how. I think is the 51st Legion.
Okay.
Do we have military class afterburners?
That's the question I'm wondering.
We just have a jet turbine.
And I think the other one is let me. What did we choose? We chose fake transponders.
I feel like that could come from somewhere really posh.
A fake transponder is so that we can pretend to be someone else, right? We can pretend to be. It's like
broadcasts a different ship signal or plays a powerful recording of sensor echoes.
I think so. Okay, so I think that one of them is the 51st Legion, and I think the other one is actually I don't want to have everyone be tier 3. I don't want to give you everything being the same tier because that feels
okay.
Let's go with the Night Speakers.
All right, what's the deal?
The Night Speakers are mystics with dark proclivities bent on finding a set of dangerous precursor artifacts. I can find more information about them for you if you like. Give me a second. So yeah, 51st Legion are basically the space military.
Cool.
On each planet has its own law enforcement. Each world, rather. But the space military are there to protect, the whole space.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Night Speakers. So the thing is, for each of these, you one of them likes you, one of them hates you. Yeah, Night Speakers have pitch black eyes and resonating voices after training in the night voice. Most wear masks, and some say that they speak to voices from beyond the stars. Yeah.
I feel like we'd be hated by the military. I mean,
hated by the military?
I think so.
We want to be friends with the Night Speakers?
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're as weird as we are.
Yeah, cool.
We probably sell stuff to the Night Speakers.
Yeah.
Yep. So you have +1 status with the Night Speakers. You can spend 1 cred to make them super friends. And then you get +2 status with them.
Super friends.
Yeah. The military we have -2 status with. But we could spend a cred to make it -1 instead.
I think we should spend a cred to get to make the military less shitty. So.
Yeah, maybe. What's the mechanical difference in that for us?
-3 is when they're at war and will fucking chase you.
Cool. Let's do that, Cammy. Good call. Good call.
Okay. So
let's not start off really close to that, I guess.
And I don't want to be super friends with the Night Witches.
Yep, we can just be
Night Witches.
We can just be regular friends with the
just regular level friends. We'll get closer over time.
Can I be secretly super friends?
I mean, yeah. You can we can establish that in play. We can be ooh, right? That's the thing that we can do. You can be during my downtime, I go and find my night speaker friends and we go and party, right? That's the thing you can do.
They're really good at smooching.
Awesome. Do they have weird night smooch powers?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I mean, they use in the dark. How do they?
Cherry, do you smooch via suit or do you remove the suit for smooching?
All will be revealed in time.
Oh, okay, cool. As long as we're going to find this out,
We're playing a sci-fi, we're playing a space game. There's going to be smooching.
It's about kissing, yeah.
It's about kissing, yeah.
The night smooch cometh.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm so glad you used the word cometh in there. That's great.
All right, we're a little bit overdue for a break, but I want to just finish this up because we're very nearly done. And then when we come back, we can jump into we can do some mission stuff.
Cool.
Choose a favorite contact. You're friends with all the contacts on your ship, but you've worked with one more closely than others. They come with strings, allies and enemies tied to their past who attach. So again, you pick. So our contacts are Takafa, a dockmaster, a law, a keen-eared barkeep, Hiani, a tugboat captain, Raka, a diplomat, or Satani, a reclusive info broker. And then
Cool.
yeah, we get to be like, okay, cool. Who do they hate, and therefore those people dislike us.
Well, DC, you already have an info broker as one of your personal contacts, right?
I do.
Okay. So
I
maybe
think
we pause
having
it
a
out.
having a diplomat could be background to why Evie's character didn't do the thing that they were ordered to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. A diplomat is always an interesting one as well because there's a lot of political shenanigans that I think can come from that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's how I know Evie is their diplomat contact got me papers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sounds cool. So I will. I this is different to Blades, where like I get to just be like, that person is connected to this. Let me find out about who makes sense for that person, because I have a feeling that diplomat might be religious. I reckon they're from the Church of the Stellar Flame.
That sounds rad as heck.
Church of the Stellar Flame, one of the official hegemonic cults. Religious zealots with only a few powerful members. Stretched thin, they're using their power and influence to seek out and eradicate dangerous artifacts and mystic activity in the sector. So
that works really well.
I mean,
So they could be manipulating us.
Yeah. I just want to check their other approved cults.
Approved cults is a very interesting way of saying like national religion.
Yeah.
Approved cults.
The approved cult of Australia is Christianity.
Who do we like more, Church of the Stellar Flame, or having a friend who is a member of the Counters Guild, officials who maintain the galactic currency network and build shadow repositories in any system the guild has presence in, storing mysterious items and securing auctions and commerce?
That one.
That one? We want our friend to be from them? Cool.
Yeah, because we give them items for the auction, make good payday.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then they are hated by, let me check this.
Maybe some kind of like
yes, Vorex, the most successful information broker to ever live, can access any terminal in the system, though no one can explain how, frantically seeking her sister, who the Counters Guild took hostage. hates this person because they're a member of the Counters Guild. Awesome. So yeah, we got some friends, we got some enemies. We've got do we want to name our ship something, or do we want to think about that and come back after the break and work out what that looks like for us?
I just noticed that the Counters Guild is also an enemy of Guild of Engineers, which is where I'm from. So
Nice.
well fucked.
Yep. Like I said, like this startup section is all about getting yourself tied up in a web of problems. So
Great.
yeah, that's gonna be a good time. All right, well, let's take a break. Remember to stand up and stretch your legs and hydrate and all those sorts of things, and we'll be back and we will launch into some nonsense. Back shortly, team.